Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be learning about converting decimals to fractions. Last week, I did converting fractions to percentages, so I thought this week would be a perfect time to do converting decimals to fractions. But anyways, without further ado, let's head on straight into this video. So what is a decimal? A decimal is a number, point, a number, or something like that. Just look at my screen. Those are both examples of decimal numbers. Now they might look completely different, but they still are decimal numbers. Although they are both decimal numbers, there's still something very, very different about them. So you see, the number in front of the point is actually the number of wholes. And then the number behind the point, the decimal point, well, that is the fraction of the whole. So if we were to write this as a fraction, let's just say, well, we would have two wholes, so then we would have 2 and then a fraction. Because that would be a mixed number because there's 2 wholes. So that's essentially what it would look like. And if there's a 0 in front of the decimal point, there is no wholes whatsoever. So in this case, the 1 is in the tenths place, and then I went ahead and drew a bunch of zeros. So those second one's in the hundreds, and the third one's in the thousands. So in this case, well, it would be tenths. So it would make more sense to have a 10 on the bottom. But if there's in the hundreds place, then there would be 100 on the bottom. If it's in the thousands place, 1,000 on the bottom. So you really need to look at where the number is placed in order to figure out what's gonna be the denominator in that fraction. So here it's in the tenths place, which means it will be over 10. So that means 2.7 is equal to 2 7/10. And if we have 0.6, for example, then there's no wholes, and the 6 is in the tenths place. So it's going to be 6 over 10, but we can simplify that by dividing the numerator and denominator by 2, giving us 3/5. How about if the number is in the hundreds place? Well, we look at the last digit. The last digit in this case is in the hundredths place, which means we will put this number behind the decimal point on top over 100. And then we can divide to simplify, and then we'll get 3/4. So you have to look specifically at the last digit and where it is placed in that specific problem. And the still wholes apply rule. The wholes rule applies. So there's still 3 wholes, and it's just gonna be 66 over 100 instead of, let's say, 6 over 10. If we simplify, we'll get 3 and 33 over 50. And if we have instead in the thousandths place, well, again, look at the last digit. And is it in the hundreds or the thousands or the tenths place? And in this case, it's in the thousandths place, which means it makes the most sense for 1,000 to be on the bottom. And then we can divide the numerator and the denominator by 25, which will give us, we'll get 4 wholes over 29 over 40. So as I said before, really pay attention based on the last digit and what place it is in, and this will help you figure out how to, what the fraction and what the denominator in that fraction would be. So I'm going to give you 3 problems, 3 decimals to convert to fractions. So you'll have to convert 1.5 into a fraction, 2.25, and 6.355. You'll have 2 minutes. Now let's go ahead and simplify. So for the first one, the last digit is in the tenths place, and there is one whole. So this means we'll have 1 and 5 over 10. And if we simplify this and divide the numerator and denominator by 5, we can get 1 and 1/2. Now for the second one, the last digit is in the hundredths place, and there are 2 wholes. And since the last digit is in the hundredths place, we'll put the denominator as 100, and we can simplify it to 2 and 1/4. And for the last question, the last digit is in the thousandths place, and there are 6 wholes. So this means we'll put 355 over 1,000, which if we divide both the numerator and denominator by 5, we'll get 71 over 200. And don't forget that there are 6 wholes, so we need to write a 6. Congrats, you made it to the end of this video. Whether it's you needed help with this concept, you wanted some extra practice, or you just wanted to review, I hope you learned something or got some extra practice in. It'd mean the world to me if you subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a brand new video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. It just tells me if I need to change anything. And remember, you can always give me suggestions for any of my videos in my discussion page. And last week, I posted a video about properties, and you guys seemed to like it. So if you want a part 2, just tell me what properties you'd like me to review, and I'll make sure to make a video like that. Bye, everyone!